I moved to the Washington, D.C. area in 1985, as soon as I got out of college. I've always had a heart and mind to do things that were good for the community, but I didn't really make a commitment of any kind until 2001 when I started volunteering. I was bringing food to people, and I started to see how people were really living. I was delivering food to people who didn't have any food for themselves or their children. Being in those homes, it just shook me out of the life I was living. And after the fourth apartment, I remember thinking, this is just not acceptable. And I said, okay, I have to make a commitment right now that I'm going to change my life. We're at the corner of Georgia Avenue and Kenyon in Northwest DC. And this is the parking lot where I realized I had to dedicate myself to ending poverty. We have the resources, we have the creativity to solve these problems. So the best way for us to address this problem is to create this new nonprofit organization. The Shared Humanity Project is the name we chose because it represents how we are going to end poverty. The only way we end it is if we come together. And our national plan to end poverty is simply a roadmap for everybody to follow to engage in their communities. Hey Jerry, I think we met before, and it has programs spotlighted around the country. There's so much poverty, and it's all unnecessary. This is just not acceptable. And so the Shared Humanity Project is about trying to finally solve this.
For me, the name Shared Humanity is about bringing the community closer together and about understanding that what brings us together is more than what takes us apart. So we all have a shared humanity. So Mark had his big moment, really his epiphany. Mine was a connection that I made with a young woman who wanted so much for her future. I was an undergraduate in the 1980s at Johns Hopkins University. They have a program there called the Johns Hopkins Tutorial Project, and we're paired with children from West Baltimore. The girl that I worked with was Torian. The most eye-opening part was when I went to her home. Her father wasn't there. Her mother was addicted to drugs. Torian had to take care of her younger siblings, but she was so optimistic, and I was just blown away and inspired that somebody could be that positive and that bubbly living in those circumstances. She made me want to be a better person, and I wanted to make it a better world for her.
American University was a place where I feel like I grew up. It was in teaching courses about human connections that my ideas for the Shared Humanity Project were born. Katherin and I met doing really grassroots service delivery. I just happened to be talking with Katherin. I said, you know, Katherin, I'm going to try to build a plan. I'm going to find an economist with whom to work. And she said, could I be the economist? And I could tell right away that she was the perfect person with whom to work.
I thought it sounded like an amazing idea. It was this ability to take thoughts and put them into action and create a community. And there's need in every zip code. So you might be living in one of the wealthiest areas of the country, but there's someone in need in your community.
Poverty endures because we allow inhumanity to be so present in our society. What's humane about letting a family starve? What's humane about letting 75 million Americans struggle each day when the resources are all around us, right? That's not humane.
If we all play a role and become a community and look out for each other, poverty will end. I think that once you connect to a community, that community becomes part of your community, and then you want to act and continue to act.
there's a great way to do that, and that is by starting a 501c3 and getting a .org as your URL. And to me, that is symbolic of, look, this is a serious mission. The short-term and long-term goals of the Shared Humanity Project are the same. We want to end poverty, but by saying end poverty, what I mean is we want to make sure that everybody has economic stability. It could be different, and we still have that hope. One of the reasons we started the Shared Humanity Project was because we understand that love is a verb. That I think human beings ought to love each other, which is to say unconditionally and supportive in every way.
I don't know what you're knocking for. You're at home. Come in.
Hello.
I miss you so much. Okay, are you crying yet?
I'm so glad to see you.
I'm not as glad as I'm to see you.
When I met Mark, it was 2001. Mark knocked on the door and he had delivered a bag of food. And I remember saying, thank you. I was just trying to figure out what I was going to feed my grandbaby for the day. And I remember thanking him so much. Mark, I'm getting emotional. I can't.
You can do it.
And so I said, you are a blessing. He brought me a blessing in the bag, and he's been a blessing all my life.
So this relationship with Maddie, to me, I mean, this is life. You know, when you build a nonprofit organization, you have to focus on a lot of businessy things, but that should always be secondary. And what's most important is the relationships you form with people who you trust. I mean, this is a trusting relationship.
This is about loyalty. Mark helped my family to survive. This is what real love is about. This is what real loyalty is about. And when the times get rough, compassion is still there.
I love you.